Good morning, guys. I'm on my way to the shop right now to see what else we could do on the Volkswagen. Just a quick update. Got my coffee ready. It's about 7 o'clock, 6:59 in the morning. About 59 degrees where I'm at right now. So it's a little nippy for us people that live in Florida. But it's just been a progress with the car. I don't know what to do today. We got to get the dashboard in. The funny thing is, if anyone's ever done dashboard on an MK1 Rabbit GTI or Rabbit vice versa, that you're trying to convert the cabriolet dashboard to, hopefully it was easy for you guys. But for me yesterday, I started out the other day, I cut the pieces I needed out for the knee bar, but now to hit the dashboard in, I had all the clips on the dashboard on top, and as we were shoving the dashboard in, those little clips broke off. And then there's no real support on the side to where you drill the side screws in to hold the dashboard on the side, because they don't match up with the old holes from the Rabbit. So I'm gonna be going to Home Depot here in a little bit and picking up another one of those steel rods, because the dashboard right where the air vent goes and part of where the cluster goes, there's two metal brackets. So I'm gonna have to take a metal bracket, shape it, you know, make an L shape out of it, or a U shape out of it, or more L shape. And I'm gonna tie it into the actual dashboard where the metal brackets are that hold those devices, to get it onto the firewall so that I could hold the dashboard in place, because everything on the top broke on the tabs. Now that's kind of like flapping down. So I took a piece of foam that you would use like on an air conditioning or a heater pipe in your area. You know, the little foam pipes that go around those like AC pipes and stuff like that. I cut that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it underneath the dash to elevate that a little bit so that it could actually float up, since I have nothing to attach it to. And hopefully the knee bar brings the dashboard up so I can hold it. So the only support will be those center parts. As far as, getting the car running, we got everything done. As far as not everything, but as far as like bleeding the clutch, bleeding the brakes, adding antifreeze, cleaning up the wires, mounting the coolant bottle, which I'll show you in a little bit once I get there. But we keep having these issues with these hose clamps. And every time we put in a hose clamp and we tighten it, they just break. So I told to my brother, he's like, oh, maybe you're over tightening it. I mean, they need to be tight, because pressure goes in through the high pressure line. The 73 pounds of high pressure, and for some reason it just starts leaking. So I made it back in my shop. As I was saying in the video, we're trying to get the dashboard in. And if you guys know, there's little clips that clip on into the dash. And then since this is like cardboard, they broke off. And honestly, the best bet is, if you have time, if you're doing one of these, is to take your dashboard and lay fiberglass underneath it to strengthen the dashboard, which I'm eventually going to do. I just don't have time right now to do that. So I'm going to do that at another time. I'll pull it out and then just redo that at another time. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that in. I got my boy bending some metal pipes. Let me see if I can get some light in here so I can show you what we're doing here. You can see in there how I reinforced the steering column. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of metal, and I'm gonna go from here to that spot right there to get the dashboard to mount in place, and then get the knee bar in. And we got to put rib nuts in here to hold the knee bar in, which I have here. That'll help lift up the dashboard. And then I have that foam I was telling you about underneath here to support that upper brace. Outside of that, I just got to still fix that, the window upholstery and that back panel. I got to just glue that in. The rear seat delete I put back in. And then I got to glue down the carpet after everything's done. Take that center console out, paint that, replace that gauge for the voltmeter gauge, because I got another one right here, which is a volt gauge. And then get all that stuff wired in. Yesterday, my boy was working on the cluster. So let me show you something else. Give me a second right now to get the dashboard in place So we're gonna be doing that real quick. Like I said the other day, all the silicone hoses are in, the power steering line is in. We zip tied some of the wires. Of course, I got a power wash in here. This whole top manifold's being replaced because I got one that's fully painted. This is the issue we're having with the fuel lines, because of course these cheap ones don't work, and then the ones that you get from like the fuel pressure lines like this, because they're so small, they just snap. So we might just take this nipple off right here and cut that, and then put a BNC compressed fitting in there. So I'm gonna see if I can find one today so that I could get these lines and then put the clamps on and secure this in place. This is a vacuum line. This is just for air. So I had an extra silicone hose that actually flexed, and I was able to cut that and put it in there. Then we have to power wash all this, but everything's pretty much done in here. That's the last thing we need to do just to get the car running, besides doing the new AC lines. Still, hopefully today I get the windshield. I'm trying to see if they call me. Then we could go ahead and just start cleaning all this stuff up to get the seats in here, and I could rewash the car and try to buff it and try to see if I can get this paint to look better than what it is right now until I get it repainted. And I did notice, I don't know if you guys noticed in the videos, but these flares are backwards. So this one's actually gonna go that way, that one's gonna go here. But when I change the rims out next week, I'll go ahead and take the screws off of these, because we didn't double stick tape that, and then flip them, because we're putting RML snowflake rims on this car. So I'll use these rims for something else. I still gotta adjust the hatch, because the seal is not letting it close, and get my seats in. I gotta shampoo that one, because I don't think I'm gonna have time to have them upholsterized, to have the upholstery done, which is sitting right here for the centers. Got a hold of S&P, called S&P from Sal. I got the new X brace for the bottom of the car, which I had another one there, but I needed this one because this one clears the transmission that we have in this car. So I got the X brace going in, the upper stress bar is going in, that's from Eurosport, and then the rear stress bar that goes in from that shock to this shock. And you can see I just got to clean up some upholstery. Oh, let me back this film up a little bit. I got to clean up some of that upholstery right there, and also clean up that end. But I'm going to focus on that once I get everything else done. And then I'll focus on the top part of the windows once I get that done. Once I get everything else done, I'll do that. That'll be like my last thing. That's why I'm not rushing on that. I can take my time. Because if I'm distracted with other things, I can end up messing that up. Because I already see that I got some of that done. Yesterday, the car was sitting in the heat because it got hot out here. Yesterday, it got up to like 80 degrees. And some of this here was already settling in. And we got a list. We're going down the list. Made 2 lists. The original one I made, stuff that needs to get done now. So just come back and we're checking on things like that. A lot of stuff is just miscellaneous stuff. So things that we could get through next week. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put this dash in, and hopefully when I get back to the video, that'll be it. So you can see here, I took the foams and then I spray foamed, and I cut in between where the locks are so that could support that top with that air conditioning pipe insulation, which is soft. So that sits there, so that supports that part. And then my boy's bending those brackets. He already made one. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the dash in place, and he's gonna organize the wires. Once he organizes the wires, then we're gonna pull out the heater box, that center thing. While I'm painting that, he'll check the heater box, and then we'll go ahead and put that back in, install the knee bar and the air vents. Install that, install the knee bars. My bad. Install the heater box back in and all the vents. And then we'll go ahead and put the knee bar in. And then I could go ahead and reinstall that, clean all this stuff up, glue the carpet down, and be done with that part of the project. So I could get the seats in. See here, getting the wires set in place. My boy's zip tying them up. Got the dash brackets in. And then with the knee bar, we'll be able to push that up. So next step after the wire is just getting the vent tubing in, removing the AC box, getting the vents in, going through the AC box, make sure that works, and then taking that console off and painting it. Once I get that box back in, then we could go ahead and try to get the knee bar in. But I don't think that's gonna happen today, because today's Thursday, so we won't be back jumping on this car till Monday. That's when we'll finish the knee bar and gluing the carpet and get the seats in and have the sucker cleaned up. So that's probably gonna be it for this video. Knee bar sitting right here. If I get any other updates here in the next hour, that's about all we got left, because we got other things to do. And we'll get back to you guys on that. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See ya. So my boy just left, and we're gonna hit this up on Monday. So here's where we left off at. Still got to get the knee bar in, get the dash adjusted. Got the seats in, and we still got to mess with that heater box, which you see right over there. I got another one right over there, just to make sure that if anything's missing, because we got to change the evaporator on that, we get that done. But all the wiring's in place. We're gonna just finish doing that, get the AC stuff done on the bottom here, get all that situated so we could get all the wiring done, and then we could go ahead and put the knee bar in once the heater box and everything's in there and all the wiring's where it needs to be. And of course, I got to paint that center console, which I'll probably do Friday, or maybe if I got time over the weekend, I'm not sure. There's very little things to do. Like, all the stuff that's on this list here is just miscellaneous things to do in here, like clean up the upholstery, get the wiring done, get the stereo in, stuff like that. Really nothing major. So should be good to go on that part. So this is what my Recaros look like right now. I just got to clean up the leather, and I'm just gonna shampoo these for right now until I get them reupholsterized. So I'll probably just hit up the show with gray ones right now. I got the cover that goes here. That's sitting somewhere over there, so I'll be putting that on the seat, putting the button on that seat that's missing. I have that in one of the bins. So this is what the car is looking like right now. So it's beginning to look like a car now compared to what it did if you go back in my videos and see when it was all a shell. So we're getting there. My windshield, hopefully it'll be here today. So on Monday when I make new videos, you should be able to see the windshield in the car and more progress. And then I gotta align the bonnet here, the hood. I gotta move that a little bit so that it closes correctly. I gotta mess around with the back hatch so that that closes correctly. So there's just, you know, right now it's just all a bunch of little TLC stuff. And then once the car is all done 100% and new rims are on, which are the snowflakes, go to the show. I'm gonna buff the car out, go to the show, and then once the show's over, I'll come back, shake it down a little bit more, and then make appointments to get the car resprayed. And at that point, I'm gonna have to remove the bumpers, the flares, the windows, the sunroof, all the little trimmings out of here so it could get taped up so that it could get repainted. And then, I mean, that's easy to put back on after that. But I need this paint to look titties. So, hope you've been enjoying the video at this point right now. This is where I'm at. Today's Thursday. And we'll be back next week with more videos. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.